Hey everyone, I'm Green Eyed Guide, your guide to the science behind caffeine and energy drinks. Today I want to talk about the lawsuit between Monster and VPX, makers of Bang Energy. I'm not a legal professional, I study energy drinks. I'm only talking about this case because the things being said affect people who drink Bang. By the way, I thought making this recap would be easy, but drama. If you're Team Monster or you're Team Bang or you sell them both or you hate them both, this is information you need. So let's start with a question. What is your favorite rivalry? Put it in the comments below and remember to hit that subscribe button. I post new videos every Wednesday. So here's the timeline of the lawsuit. Monster's first filed complaint against VPX was in September of 2018. In December of that same year, Monster had to find a new legal team. Apparently, one of the lawyers on Monster's legal team had been a lawyer for VPX years ago. He was only there for like 13 hours, but it was enough where he might have information that he shouldn't. So you can switch sides and share information with your new team about your old team? Where does that sound familiar? With Monster's new legal team, they filed their first amended complaint in April 2019. This complaint is like 50 pages and it has 11 parts. I could spend an hour talking about it, but you might die of boredom. But I'm a scientist. I read boring stuff for fun all the time. I'll keep this as short as I can. If you have more questions, I would be happy to answer them. Just put them in the comments below. Also, there's a lot of ongoing lawsuits related to this one. I'm only going to talk about what Monster said about VPX in their first amended complaint. Part A. Monster is trying to prove VPX has a history of putting things in their products that aren't safe. Examples are ephedra and one ingredient which had never been tested on humans before VPX put it into people food. Part B, Monster is trying to prove VPX deceives customers. For example, their name, which you'll notice I haven't been using for this reason, is Vital Pharmaceuticals, but they're not a pharmaceutical company. Another example is how the logo looks kind of like the RX symbol of a prescription. I don't know, does anyone actually think Bang is prescription medicine? Also, lying about research. Okay, so this is kind of a big deal. VPX has gotten in trouble with the Better Business Bureau for overstating research results. For example, there's 3 studies on their website about Redline, but when I read this research, it was about caffeine in general. So you can't say Redline is better than something because it's applicable to all caffeinated beverages. Speaking of their research and customer deception, did you know what they used for a placebo in their beloved double-blind placebo-controlled studies? No one knows, or at least no one can tell, because in these double-blind placebo-controlled studies, there's no information about the placebo. This is really important because if you're trying to prove that your product is better than something else, we need to know what the placebo is. Is it just water? Is it just caffeine without your special blend of ingredients? What is the placebo? Maybe this information would have been in their research paper if the research paper was actually published in a journal, but it wasn't. Almost all VPX research was presented at a conference, which means it probably didn't go through the rigorous peer review evaluation it would have if it was published in a journal. These conferences are for the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition. Their CEO works for VPX. It's a little hard to trust their research when it's only been shared at a conference of your friend. My fellow scientists, what are your thoughts here? Is this weird? Am I wrong? That was all part B, customer deception. There's so much more, but that's enough. Moving on. Part C, deceptive marketing of Bang. How many of you buy Bang because of creatine? Jack Owoc has said the creatine peptides he's patented can possibly reverse mental retardation. You know how you become retarded as you get older? His words, not mine. Dear Bang, your can says brain and body fuel. You know that there's like 1,000 studies on caffeine and cognition. Why are you promoting creatine for brain? That's like saying Daenerys is a fierce warrior because of her hairdo. Like, hello, there's dragons. Like, you're missing the connection here. Caffeine is for the brain, creatine is for the body. Also, stop saying BCAA aminos. BCAA is branch chain amino acids. That's all you need. Part D, super creatine provides no benefit. VPX talks about super creatine like it's the same thing as creatine. Super creatine, creatine with a cape. No. Super creatine is chemically manipulated to be more soluble in water. If you've ever used a creatine supplement, you know it's really hard to get it to stay in solution. Your body cannot break this chemical manipulation done to make super creatine. And super creatine does not turn into creatine in the body. Look at sucralose, the artificial sweetener. That is a sugar molecule that's chemically manipulated. There's a better explanation, but essentially it's chemically manipulated to have 3 chlorine atoms chemically bonded to it. Your body can't change that chemical manipulation. So sucralose is an artificial sweetener. Sucrose, table sugar, sounds similar, but the two are completely different things. Super creatine and creatine are kind of in the same boat. This means if you're buying Bang for the creatine, stop. There is no creatine in Bang. I've seen the test results. They were submitted as part of the legal documentation. No creatine in Bang. And the levels of super creatine are very, very, very small. So even if super creatine somehow magically turned into creatine in the body, which it can't, there's not enough of it to do anything. The amount of super creatine in Bang is about 200 times smaller than the effective amount of creatine biologically. And it's about 500 times smaller than the amount of creatine talked about in Bang's patent. Part E. Speaking of their patent, VPX overstates their patent to mislead people. There's other lawsuits going on right now regarding this patent. The important part is that the VPX patent talks about making creatine soluble. It does not talk about whether super creatine is absorbed and utilized by the human body. Part F, almost done, hang in there. Super creatine is not grass. That's a no-no per the FDA. Part G, VPX often compares itself to sugary energy drinks, and this isn't a fair apples to apples comparison because there's plenty of sugar-free energy drinks. I don't know if VPX still does this, but one thing they implied when they were saying they're better than other energy drinks is that Bang is better because it has no artificial ingredients. Duh, hello, super creatine is artificial. You've made it, right? That's artificial. Also, Bang has artificial sweeteners. It says so right on the can. Part H, if you buy Bang because you like the taste, that's fine. If you buy Bang because of the benefits of creatine, that's a problem. This is part H of Monster's complaint. Part I, apparently VPX people go to stores and move Monster cans to steal their shelf space. Part J, allegedly VPX tries to hire people who work at Monster. They lure them with really high salaries in return for bringing with them Monster's internal information. So you can switch sides and share information with your new team about your old team? Where does that sound familiar? This might actually explain how VPX and Monster both coincidentally decided to trademark the word rain. Like, of all the words in the English language, how did they magically coincidentally pick the same word? Part K. Thank God, the last part. Monster attributes Bang's insane growth, 784% growth over 2018. Monster's sales dipped 1% to people buying Bang for the wrong reason. So now you know, that's why Monster is suing VPX. That's what they're saying in their complaint. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit that subscribe button. Next week, I'm talking about why 4Loko is so bad. You can follow me on Instagram at greeneyedguide. Also visit greeneyedguide.com where you'll find a lot more information about me and what I do. Till next time, I'm Green Eyed Guide, your guide to the science behind caffeine and energy drinks. Take care.